Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another installment of my Tone Talk vlogs. Getting a little better at these as more I go. It's a little awkward being filmed by your phone camera, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. Um, it's cold here in Dallas. I'm freezing my butt off, but repping my Dallas Cowboys today. Zeke, you're amazing. Hurled over that dude for the Eagles. You brought me some hope, desperately for that I needed for this week, so I can still watch football. My heart's not totally broken yet. Come on, Cowboys. Okay. All right. Back to our talk about Tone Talk. I want to follow up on this week's blog post about delays, their uses, why delay pedals were, as a pedal, were created in the first place, what they were trying to replace, the history of them, and some units I like to use, and then expand on concepts on how to use them that I wrote about in my blog. This is a 1978 vintage Electro Harmonix Memory Man. The Memory Man is kind of like the end-all be-all of analog delay pedals. Everybody covets one of these, and I'm really lucky to have this pedal. I really like it. I think that it sounds great, and it has a lot of that mojo. A few Memory Mans before finally settling on this one. Um, as always with vintage gear, if you're unfamiliar with what it's like to hunt vintage stuff, you always want to try as many things as you can before you actually make the purchase. Um, the reason is, one, this stuff is really expensive for what it is, but you're getting what you pay for. You're getting a collectible piece, number one, because they are old. Two, you're getting actual units that your favorite players or producers have used in the studio on hits. So out of all the delay pedals out there, Memory Man by Electro Harmonix has been used on countless recordings, very famously used by The Edge from U2. Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead uses. The reason why you want to go through so many of them, not just because of the price and the collectability factor, is that with age comes component failure or component aging and drift. The quality of the electronic components inside units like this can change over time. So what happens specifically with delay pedals is that can affect the tone in a couple ways. You can lose delay time overall. You can lose the quality of your repeats and get a little muddy. So all of that that's why you want to try a few, is really get one that works for you and you trust your ears. If it sounds good, it's not wrong. So in this case, a lot of you tone connoisseurs out there on the internet are going to be giving me some crap. Okay, yeah, is it not a deluxe Memory Man? That's true. I went through a few deluxe Memory Mans prior to settling on this one. Obviously, price was a factor a little bit in my decision, but I honestly thought that this, out of the few deluxe Memory Mans I sounded, in terms of just the delay, this sounded better, and I was much happier with this than I was with a few of the deluxe Memory Mans I tried. Also, I got a really good deal on this piece. Deals are out there if you want to look. You'll be able to get what you want at an affordable price. If you really just troll the Craigslist or the gear pages constantly, you will find something. I've seen units, this particular unit, go for 5 times what I paid for it. So if you hunt, you can get the right tone. The other reason I got one of these was my guitar tech used to tech for Andy Timmons. Him and Andy Timmons are really good friends. And in the 90s, he told me that Andy Timmons would specifically hunt these blue Memory Mans. And this is what he was using in the studio, and he was using them live. And for those of you who don't know who Andy Timmons is, he's a really big-time guitar player. He lives here in North Texas. I've met Andy many times. He's a really cool, down-to-earth guy. But he's a major tone connoisseur. He really knows his stuff. And if Andy was seeking these out, that means something to me. So I'm going to go and trust Andy's opinion and his ears and go hunt one of these for myself. And I did, and I couldn't be happier with the results. So let's go over the features of this Memory Man. This is what I made my blog on. So when I'm talking about using delay controls and the like, everything is off this set of controls. So let's go over them. We have 3 in and out jacks on the unit. And again, this is the big box original vintage, pressed metal enclosure. Electro Harmonix would make a lot of pedals in these boxes at this size, and they would just kind of, if they had 3 jacks and another pedal, they'd figure out a way to make that third hole work because everything is pre-drilled. So as a way to save money and not make as many varying boxes, but still get whatever they wanted inside the guts. So with this, we have a regular input jack, a boost in, and a regular output jack. The reason they have the boost in is with a lot of Electro Harmonix vintage units, when you turn the pedal on, the input signal can be lowered or not at the same unity as when the pedal is off. So what I do is I just run my guitar through the boost in, and it brings the signal up, and then I have unity, and it sounds great. So I kind of just ignore my input jack on these. The other unique feature about this is a V2 early vintage EHX Memory Man pedal is it doesn't have the extra knobs like you'd see on our deluxe Memory Man. That didn't come later, so this is a really early unit. They kind of decided to integrate both features of this pedal into a later deluxe Memory Man. So what you get here is this slider switch. And the slider switch actually switches the pedal from a true echo delay into a chorus pedal. It's not really a traditional chorus pedal. It's more like it shortens the delay time so short it gets like a pseudo modulating chorus thing. But that is the modulation tone you would hear when you have the deluxe Memory Man. The more you could control or add in the modulation while you have the delay. What I like about this unit is when I swap the slider switch, when it works more like a chorus unit, they have these little, I don't know if you can see that, but they have little stars on the knobs. And when you use those, that's what, from EHX, they say are the optimum chorus settings. So what I like about the chorus settings is I feel like that gets me more like a Johnny Marr kind of tone, which I don't think that was ever what Johnny Marr ever used in his life to get a chorus sound. I think he was using that Roland amplifier that had the chorus built in for a lot of those early Smiths tracks. But this does like a killer Johnny Marr. And that's one of my secrets I use the pedal a lot is get a Johnny Marr tone. So going over the rest of the controls, it's pretty straightforward. Again, I chose to use this for the ease of knowing the controls. So when you use a delay, what are you actually working with? So down here we have delay. That gives you the amount of delay time that's possible with the unit. That's measured in milliseconds. So as I turn the knob this way, I'm increasing my delay time. That's how long my echo is from my dry signal to an echo. So I'm controlling how long those intervals are. My next control is the feedback control. The feedback control controls how many repeats of your echo. So if I go, hello, 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 that would be what an echo is. So I can control exactly how many of those am I getting that bounce sent back to me through the amplifier. So right now I have it set on 0. As I turn this up, it keeps getting more and more echoes, or the repeat of the echo. And then this top knob is labeled on here as blend. The other slang term you'll hear when using any kind of delay or chorus or reverb from guys who work in studios is you'll hear a term called mix. And a mix is just interchangeably used with blend. But what those terminology means is I'm controlling or adjusting how much of the echo am I balancing in the signal level to where I'm hearing that simultaneously with my guitar. So the more I turn this up, the echo will be more in the forefront. The more I turn it down, my dry guitar or unaffected guitar tone will be more in the forefront. So finding the right balance for what you're trying to do with this is really important. So as for why Electro Harmonix created this pedal, this is the first ever attempt to make in a box form what you would originally have with delay units. Delay units were created usually through tape. So you have tape running from point A to point B, and as it travels through these tape heads, you get degradation in signal and you get echo to start happening, and you could flick the tape and that would make it go like this, and that would get different effects. And but the problem with tape is it's expensive, it breaks, the units break all the time, you have to repair them. So the guru that is Mike Matthews from Electro Harmonix set out with, what if I come out with a unit that's portable, that fits in a box, that's powered on its own power supply, and with solid state technology can get as close as possible on stage to an actual tape machine. And I have to say, with using one of these, Mike Matthews hit the nail on the proverbial head. This gets so close to a tape machine, it's nuts. I actually own a couple tape machines. We have a couple in our studio that we use. The one we have racked in right now that I prefer the tone of, it's also easier to repair, is the Roland Space Echo. And I felt as though for most settings of what I use a Space Echo for, this can nail it at home. These are great pedals. I think you guys should check them out. So let's move on to trying out some settings with this so I can show you what I was talking about in my blog.